My dear students, as we know that we have to go through series of employment interviews, and the first preliminary interview need to be conducted by the HR manager. After the interviewing by the HR manager, the departmental managers or the heads need to conduct interview. So we will talk about the departmental interview. Unlike the HR interview, department heads or managers are less likely to probe general areas of interest or questions, because HR manager's job is to ask questions about the interest, about the education, about the journal generic skills of the person. But the department heads are mainly concerned about more job specific questions. Their main focus is, can this person do the job? Because they are the heads of the departments and they are looking for someone who can do their job. And they would ask all of the questions just based on this particular question, this broader question. Can this person do the job? And if he can do the job, obviously that is great. So the departmental interviews then emphasizes on the job specifics questions, and these questions can be of a different kind. For this reason, the departmental interview should entail open-ended, competency-based, hypothetical questions based on specific job-related duties and responsibilities, knowledge, skills, and abilities of the person. So these questions are revolving around the job and the competency of the person to do the job in effective and efficient way. Following his interview with Kira, as we are following the same example, Kira and Nick sits down with a job description for the business office supervisor, Kira resume, and his interview notes. So these are the three major things which they have to get on their table. Based on her experience and responses in relation to the requirement of the job, Nick is hesitant to refer her on. So she lacks expertise in number of essential areas and seems more interested in pursuing a career in HR than continuing with the business office supervision. So still, Millicent, the department head, wants to meet with her. So Nick sets up an interview. So here are some of the job specific questions Millicent could ask Kira. What are those questions? So one question, how you go about organizing the billing of your office, please be specific. So he's asking very specific, very typical job specific question about the billing. Then number two, he asks a question, how do you handle receipt errors? If there are some errors in receipt, how would you handle? That is also very much related to the job. So number three, what about payment surpluses? If there are some payment surpluses, how can you handle such kind of situation? And then describe your logging system. What is your approach to collecting delinquent account? I have some question about your responsibility with regard to your company's payroll system. So now he is asking question about her previous job. So there are some questions. For example, what is your take on the schematic 5500? This is kind of a software or a system in the accounting. Then describe your system of financial record keeping. So he would like to know that what Kira was doing in her previous job and what kind of a job specific knowledge and skills she has. So these questions are very much specific to her previous job. And what do you think of a new Jackal record keeping system? And number four, what would you do if I was not around and one of the VPs started screaming about not having received department important financial documents? So such kind of questions would be asked so she can tell about the handling of the difficult situation. And I need someone to revise policies and procedures relevant to the business office function. Have you ever done that? This is a very tricky question because this question may not be of the level of the business office supervisor because this is a change of a policy. So sometimes managers can ask, departmental head can ask strategic questions. They can ask questions about a change in the policy system. So you need to be prepared as a candidate. And how would you go about revising policies and procedure? Who would you talk to? How would you gather the information you need to change the policy? And then or what is the most important ingredient in preparing financial reports? So this is also about the policy thing. And the fifth question, what would you do during a government audit if you were held responsible for an error? So this is also a difficult question, that if some error can be happen in your organization, how would you manage it, and how will you manage a most important and sensitive job, that is a handling of a government audits? So such kind of questions can be asked, and these questions are mainly job specific questions which the departmental heads can ask.